Hello, my name is Christopher Murphy, and in this video I'll be explaining how to utilise Google Earth for use in the Discover Asia class project. Okay, so I'm in Google Earth at the moment. As you can see, that's Australia. So firstly what I'll do is I'm just going to zoom in on the Perth area, because that's where we're going to focus for this demonstration. Here you can see Perth, surrounding areas, Big Lake, Armidale, down to Mandurah, Righto. So the first thing that we're going to look at is how to find the geographical coordinates of a location using Google Earth. As you can see down the bottom corner, we have all this information here, including the longitude and latitude coordinates. These change as I move the mouse. So if I want to find the geographical location for any city, all I have to do is hover my mouse over the city, and we can see that Perth is 31 degrees and 57 minutes south and 115 degrees and 52 minutes east. If we wanted to find out Rockingham, we can see it's 32 degrees 16 south and 115 degrees 44 east. So that's easy. That's the easy part. The next thing we're going to look at is how to use the ruler function to find out the distance from one point to another, so as the crow flies. For this example, we will go from Rockingham to Perth, because I live in Rockingham. So we just click on the ruler function up the top here, which opens up this little box. You can select the different measurements along the side. We're doing kilometres for this task. And all you have to do is, you can see the mouse has turned into a little crosshair. You just need to click on the first location, and that makes a little yellow line, and then you click on the second. And as you can see, it is 38.5 kilometres from Rockingham to Perth. If you wanted to measure something further away, you need to zoom out. So if we want to measure from Rockingham to the other side of Australia, we click on Rockingham, and then we use the scroll wheel to zoom out, and we move Australia over, and we can zoom in on Canberra, for example. There we go. 3,093 kilometres. Easy. Okay, so we can close the ruler function, and we'll go back home. Here we are. Zoom in again. The last thing that we're going to have a look at is how to find the distance from one point to another using the directions tool. This distance isn't as the crows fly, it's driving distance, and it also gives you a time frame for how long it would take to drive. So in this example, we're going to use Perth as our base city. That's where we're staying for this task. And the cultural landmark that I've decided to choose is Kings Park. So all you need to do is click up here. It says Get Directions, and in point A we put the capital city, which in this case is Perth CBD, and then in B we put the landmark. So our cultural landmark is Kings Park, and then we just click Get Directions. As you can see, Kings Park is very close to Perth. Just going to zoom us in. It has the directions here, and over here we can see that it is 2.1 kilometres driving, and it takes approximately 4 minutes to drive. So if we were staying in Perth and we wanted to visit Kings Park, and that's all we wanted to do, it would only use up 1 day, because it's right there. So we're going to have a look at our natural landmark now. So we click back on Get Directions, and we type in Perth CBD again, because that's where we're staying. And then we type in the natural landmark, and I've chosen Bluff Knob, which is a hill, a mountain range, not really a mountain, it's more of a hill, in the southwestern part of WA. So we get directions, and it zooms us out. All the way out. It's far away. So as we can see, it's 446 kilometers drive, and it would take nearly 5 hours to get to Bluff Knoll. So if we wanted to travel to Bluff Knoll on a trip to Perth, we would probably need a day to drive there, a day to actually visit it, maybe climb it if we feel up to the challenge, and then another day to drive back. So you'd need at least 3 days. If you were visiting Bluff Knoll and Kings Park, you could probably still do it in the 3 days and just visit Kings Park on the way there, because it's just around the corner from Perth. So that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know to be able to use Google Earth for this authentic learning project. I would suggest that you play around with Google Earth though, because there's always things that you can add, or if you wanted to make a completely different learning project using Google Earth, it's a really effective tool. So I would suggest just playing around with it and seeing what all these other tools up here do. Thank you.